All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We're going to be diving into FUBO. All right. This is the daily chart. We'll break down the daily chart and the key levels and strategies I'm using, as well as the 15-minute chart. And we have some systemic buying channels we have right here, some algorithmic buying channels ever since earnings that we've been trading in. We're going to see if we can continue to maintain these levels or if we're going to break down below. I'll go over what these levels are on the chart and how I come up with these as well. It's very useful. And also shout out to today's sponsor, Simply Wall Street. We're going to be using them to really dive into the fundamentals very briefly on FUBO. All right, and it's a really awesome platform. There's a link in the description. If you guys use that, all right, you will get a 14-day free trial, and the first 100 people will also get, up to a 40% discount. So we're going to go ahead and hop into some of the fundamentals real quick. Their revenue is forecast to grow 18.89% per year, and it's trading at a good value compared to peers and the industry. Now, on the risk analysis side, it is a highly volatile share price over the past 3 months, and shareholders have been substantially diluted in the past year. Something also worth noting is that it's currently unprofitable and not forecast to become profitable over the next 3 years. Now, full disclaimer, the content provided in this YouTube channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. Myself and any individuals that appear in this YouTube channel are not registered financial advisors. Trading in stocks, bonds, commodities, and crypto involve a significant risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Now, the first thing here I want to start off with is the larger time frame. This is our daily time frame. All right, and you can see we had a clear head and shoulders right here in the past. And these sets of yellow lines, you may be wondering what these are. What these are is these are the major Fibonacci retracement levels, right? And you use these because nothing moves in a straight line down or in a straight line up. Rather, you get a move down, retracement, and a continuation of the trend, or you can sometimes get a reversal, right? So if you move down, retrace, and you start to consolidate and break through those retracement levels, that's how you can potentially spot an upside reversal. So we got our trend continuation here after retracing to the 38.2 and then rejecting. We continued further down below. And since that moment, we started consolidating, right? Now there's three stages to a reversal. Okay, there's your initial downtrend that you have, right? So we had the initial downtrend here, then you get your box consolidation, and then you get the reversal. Now, to get a full reversal on FUBO, we need to break above this $2.18 level, and we need to hold above this 192 level, right? You can see that we've broken out past it, but we haven't been able to close above 192. So today or over the upcoming weeks, if we can maintain above 192, we have that chance of heading further upwards to that 218. And if we can get above there, that's when we can really look for the full reversal. All right, on FUBO. So when it comes to the charts, that's one thing that I'm paying attention to. One other thing that I do want to mention is these two gaps right here. That's what these blue boxes are. Okay, these are gaps on the daily chart time frame, and these tend to fill about 90% of the time historically. So the big question is when they're going to fill, not if they're going to fill. So you do need to be very cautious as we have this gap down to fill, and we really almost are done filling this gap up. As you can see, we got very close to filling the top. We're going to look to see if the rest of this gap fills sometime soon, taking us close to that $2.18 level. But you need to be cautious because we have a gap all the way down to about 120 on FUBO after it reported earnings. It gapped up really, really big. Now, some more diving into the fundamentals very briefly. All right, if we take a look at the price volatility of FUBO, we take a look and it's very high. Okay, the volatility is very high compared to the industry standard as well as the average market volatility. Now, the shareholder returns in the past 7 days have been really significant, up 48%. But if you look over the past year, it's down 36%. Meanwhile, the market is up 2.6% in the past year and only down 0.5% in the last 7 days. All right. So when we look at some of the other key information, the debt to equity ratio is at 91.9%. They got $402.36 million in debt. Right now, on the financial health side of things, it gets 6 out of 6 check marks here, right? And when you look at the short-term liabilities, the long-term liabilities, debt level, reducing debt, its stable cash runway, and its forecast cash runway, all of those get checked. So that is a positive aspect to FUBO. And on the valuation side, it gets about a 3 out of 6. All right. And so Some of the positives on it are the price to sales versus its peers, the price to sales versus the industry, and the price to sales versus the fair ratio. But currently it's not below fair value according to the Simply Wall Street metrics. It's not really significantly below the fair value, and the analyst forecasts aren't great on it either. Now, remember, you can use any stock and you can look up fundamentals on any stock using the Simply Wall Street platform. All right, there's a link in the description as well as a pinned comment below. It's a really awesome platform, and you can, get these nice, easy to understand and easily, compiled with some nice graphs for you fundamentals. It's a great resource. I've been using it for a while, and I'm glad to have them as a sponsor. We'll go ahead and look into the 15-minute chart time frame right here, right? And these are these buying channels that I mentioned before, right? And so you can see we're dipping into the lower channel right here. But we're holding above our major retracement levels at the moment, right? I mentioned these in the very beginning. We got the move up, we retraced here to the 38.2, and then we came up and we hit our 786 extension, right? So the targets that we're going to be looking for on each of these smaller moves up are going to be the 786 and 1.0 extensions. You can see after we got the move up, we retraced, we hit the 786 extension, we retraced near the 50% level this time, all right? And then we came up, hit the 1.0 extension. Now we're retracing, holding right along our 61.8% retracement level at 185. And if potentially we're going to, break back out into this upper half of the channel, FUBO could go from about 219 to 229. All right. But ultimately, if we break below this level here, $1.77, and we flip this to resistance from support, okay, then there is a strong chance that we're going to come back down and start to see some type of a reversal and retest some of our previous lows on FUBO. So, you need to be very mindful of that, right? This thing has run up a lot here recently, and it won't continue forever. Not to say that it has to end sometime soon, but these, from a technical standpoint, these are going to be some of the major levels that you need to pay attention to. Okay, so 177 and $1.85. We break below here and flip that to resistance. Things are probably going to start looking bad for FUBO, and we'll see some type of reversal. But above these levels, we have the chance of continuing the bullishness and potentially hitting 219 all the way up to 229. All right. If we look at the price to sales ratio versus its peers, all right, we can see FUBO right here, and the peer average is a 1.2. So, that's kind of one little bit of a good thing for it. The earnings growth rate is negative 47%. It's got a negative 14.4% EPS growth rate. The price to sales ratio versus fair ratio, we can see it gets a check mark here. FUBO is a good value based on its price to sale ratio compared to its estimated price to sales ratio. And then the past performance is somewhere where it doesn't really get any good check marks, right? We see quality earnings, growing profit margin, earnings trend, accelerating growth, earnings versus industry, and a high ROE, which is return on equity. It gets an X on all of those factors. So there's plenty of things to think about when considering making an investment or a trade. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We went over the charts a little bit. We dove a little bit into the fundamentals. Remember, if you want to learn more on the fundamentals of FUBO or any stock in particular that you're interested in, all you have to do is use the link below in the description or the pinned comment down below, and that will get you guys access to the Simply Wall Street platform. And you can get a 14-day free trial, and the first 100 people to sign up using my link will also get up to 40% discount.